again, my friends. When I look in the New Testament, especially the book of Acts, I can't help but noticing how the Lord connected people, specifically the church, to their communities and how that made a difference in their part of the world. Sometimes it was the preaching of the apostles. Sometimes it was a miracle. Sometimes it was the modeling of healthy community life, just people in the community being able to watch how believers love one another. Sometimes it was welcoming strangers into the fold. But it always met some need in that community, and I believe quite often, if not always, the need that was very present in that community at the time. So I have to ask you, how is your church doing that? I have to believe your church exists in that community to touch people with the love of Jesus in a very palpable and specific way. It's how the disciples turned their world upside down, and those aren't their words, of course. Those were the words of the people in the world. So how has God called you to serve your community? How has He called your church, the people you lead, to serve that community? Being intentional about that is one of the great keys to fruitfulness in our generation and in every generation. We must do things, though, without having strings attached. That's so, so important. All the saints should just love people because that's what we're all called to do. But all the saints should also be intentional, of course, in their workplace. That, again, is part of our calling. We're all called to do the work of the ministry, and we leaders are specifically called to equip people to do that effectively, where they live, where they work, where they recreate. But communities should also be able to recognize how Jesus is loving them through your specific church. So here's my prayer, that if you don't already have a revelation of that God will give it to you, that He'll show you why your church exists in that community, what His expectations are, and what the needs are of that community that He's wanting to meet very intentionally, very specifically through your group of believers. And then I pray that He will help you to do it. In Jesus' name. God bless you, my friends.